Hello, Paleo FX tribe, Melissa here, and today we are continuing our Paleo FX 2019 sponsor recap. And here with me, I have someone that if you were at the event, you would not have missed because they were in the middle of the floor with a huge spread at our strength and conditioning floor. And they also offered something really cool this year that was different to help you all have fun, be engaged, and it was just something that people couldn't get enough of. So here with me today is Dave, and he is with realFIT. Hi, Dave. Thanks for joining us.
How are you?
Well, thanks. We're just still glowing in the after effects of the event, and super excited that you guys were part of it. Just, you know, bringing the energy, bringing the fun, the engagement to the floor. Everybody felt it this year, and it was just this amazing positive energy. I can't, you know, for lack of another word, but it was just illuminating. So hopefully you guys felt that too. How was the show for you guys this year?
Well, I'm always amazed by the energy, and as you say, it's very hard to describe what Paleo FX is all about. And so there were a couple of people I brought new this year, and they really were just overwhelmed by all the things to do, to see. And again, I think that the big difference is, as you said, is the energy of the people. So there's always, you know, there's lots of events and conferences with cool stuff, but the people at Paleo FX continue to amaze me. And not only just from their intelligence and interest, but also their fitness. You know, so for me, you know, we're always focused on fitness. I'm just amazed at the quality of talent and athletic ability that are in these attendees. You know, they'll show up in a suit and crank out pull-ups. They'll row fast. They'll lift huge amounts of weight. So it's an incredibly smart but fit set of attendees. So I'm always amazed by that, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, you know, the difference between that is the Paleo FX, the people that come, our tribe, they actually practice what they preach, right? Yeah. I mean, they do the thing. They don't just talk about it. They don't just go, oh, kind of work out here and there. I mean, they're legit. They're legit. So
they're also kind of competitive. They're also pretty competitive. So, you know, again, I think that, you know, we changed up how we did our realFIT strength and conditioning floor this year, which I think increased a lot of the engagement, but it did not dampen the competitive nature of some of the attendees. You know, so we made it less formal of a competition, but we still had some incredible performances, and then people coming back to say, did anybody beat my performance? I can do even better. So it was, and the other thing, we got a lot of engagement from parents and kids too. So there were actually a lot of fit families at this event, and it was nice to see how engaged they were as well. So again, across the board, congratulations. It was an amazing event to be a part of, and I think that it can only get better. So I think that this was the best, and I think it can get even better.
Absolutely. You know, we're working on that now, of course. So we're gearing up for a PFX 20, and thinking how can we top this? How can we top this energy that we just all experienced? So
we're thinking the same
thing. Yeah, right. So you guys brought an extra little, I guess, a guest. You guys had a guest, if you will, that helped inspire. I think maybe the kids probably more than anything was like your little T-Rex, like your little symbol. Yeah,
this became a very coveted item there, and we had some very enterprising people work to get one of those. So that was a lot of fun.
It's just amazing what people will work for sometimes, you know. And
it's something trivial, but it was. We did change around a couple things just to introduce not only the fitness element to it, but a little bit of economics. So what we did is, you know, we created our own currency. You know, so it was free to attend. There was nothing cost anything in our midway, but people could earn coins by doing work, and then they could redeem those coins for other prizes or at other vendor booths, or they could take a chance and try to multiply those in other events. So it was people had a little time to say, okay, what is it that you're doing? But once they figured it out, we had a full market in these coins, and everybody was doing incredible amounts of work to get even more prizes. So it was a lot of fun. So that part seemed to work.
Yeah, and it spread like wildfire, right? People were hearing like, what is that? Where did you get those? Well, go see Dave and do it yourself and get these amazing fit coins and you can get all this stuff. And so I think that helped with the engagement, right? It helped bring in that excitement and participation. And, we're not just going to this event to go through the booths and find out some information and listen to the speakers, but we're also going to have fun and be active and engaged. And so
the thing too, so we were trying to do a couple things. One is that because there was so much to do at the event, in prior years, we'd had more of a competition where it took a lot of time on their part to compete. Now they could just surf in and out, right? They could do something in between a speaker or in between one of the other events. We wanted to shorten their engagement so they didn't have to spend as much time. But we also wanted to give them some different tests. So we had actually a grip strength test this year. So it was one of those things that everybody knows how important grip strength is, but no one had had a way to test it. So we had a bunch of these measuring devices, and we were saying, okay. So we had power lifters, we had CrossFitters, we had some people that never really lifted weight before, but were rock climbers. So all of a sudden they wanted to know what their number was and what's good, right? And so that's what realFIT does. We try to tell you what's good and raise the bar in terms of your performance. But some people have never had their grip strength measured before. And then it turned into, right. So we had a couple things. One is there were Jordan and Julie were the couple, the male and female, that just dominated. Jordan actually broke our scale. He didn't break the device physically, but he maxed out on the scale.
Oh my gosh.
He's kind of this unassuming kind of guy, but he just crushed this thing. And Julie, his companion, was the top female as well. But we actually had a woman. She came in and she brought her mother. It was her mother's. I think it was her mother's 85th birthday. She brought her as a gift. The present was to bring her to Paleo. She shook my hand, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a strong. So I had her do the grip strength, and she was very high on the scale, even past 80. So
I think she was higher than me. I think I remember you telling me that, and I just thought, oh my gosh, like what? I knew I was going to fail that grip strength test. I knew.
Well, it's not that there's a fail. It just gives you that number, and you say, okay, now what can I do about this? We had another group. My favorite group was Sloan and Lauren and their crew. He hung on the bar for 7 minutes. One of our other tests was how long can you hang on a pull-up bar, right? And so she hung on it for over 4 minutes and then did 10 pull-ups afterwards. He was just hanging around for 7 minutes, just kind of singing. So, and so you see that, and it was just kind of incredible. And then all the kids that were engaged. The one thing that I really liked was that some of the kids, the goal was you had to earn coins to be able to play. So you could earn coins by jumping rope or doing a plank or doing some pull-ups or push-ups. And so they would actually run out of things to do. They're like, what other things can I do to earn coins? And so we were negotiating. Like, okay, you show me you can do that, I'll give you another 20. And I remember one of the parents said, and I kind of joked, say, hey, you did only 5, I'll give you something. She said, no, I'm not going to, or I have to do this to earn those coins. So they were doing planks for 4 minutes. They were doing all these things just to earn enough to get to this thing. And it was just so exciting to see because they liked the fact that it was something earned and not given. It's one thing to say, hey, you luck of the draw, you got randomly lucky, so here's your prize. But I said, when you got this, you got that because you earned it. And that was, I think, what connected not only with the kids, but with the parents. And I've actually got a brand new idea. I really want to do this for kids on a broader scale. So I'd like to, if anybody out there would like me to do this for their school.
I was just thinking that. Yes, that would be awesome. That would be so awesome. It feels better. It feels better when you earn it, right? It feels better when you earn it. And some people don't realize that. It would feel better if you earned it instead of it just being given to you because you worked hard on it. And
well, the other piece,
it means more. It means more.
It's exactly, and that's why even if it's something trivial, that it actually means something. The other thing is that we were, I like and a lot of the attendees are very financially oriented. They're very smart. So I like the economics version of what we were doing. So we would say, okay, you can earn 5 coins if you can do 10 push-ups, right? I said, so, but this thing costs 400 coins. So how are you going to get more? You can bet on this to say, okay, if you take your 5 coins, if you can hang from the bar for 2 minutes, I'll give you 100. And so they're like, oh, okay, so what's my best return? What if I do this? So they started to understand basic economics and understand the return on investment and say, gee, I think I can do that. What else have you got, Dave? Which was kind of fun. We actually had my favorite kid at the show. He actually earned coins by doing errands for other people at the booths. So he would go and ask all the other exhibitors and say, hey, do you want me to go get some coffee? Do you want me to go get some other swag? And so he would do that for coins, and he racked up over 1,000 coins and cashed in big time all around the event just by being entrepreneurial and smart. So I'm like, that kid's we're gonna be working for him someday.
Yeah, no doubt. So for those that are watching this that don't know, let's just talk briefly about what is realFIT. What is it? What do you do? I mean, we talk about the rigorous fitness assessment, in that, conventional methods these days could lead to incorrect diagnoses or just data about yourself that may not lead you on a good path toward what you think might be improvement. So what is it that realFIT does that's
well, realFIT started, the whole concept behind realFIT is that, what does it mean to be fit, and how do you actually know? And to me, the goal is to create the fitness equivalent of your credit score. So when I ask how fit are you, Melissa, or how fit are you, Keith, there's really no single number, right? And so when you think about, and I'm thinking about fitness not just in terms of health, not in terms of your body fat percentage or your heart rate or your cholesterol things, not the biometric stuff, but just, can you do something? Can you pick up a weight? Can you hold yourself from a bar? And so the idea was to say, what are some simple, what's a simple set of tests that you can do to see actually how fit you are? And so realFIT is a fitness data platform. We're a collection of tests and standards just to say, how fit are you? And it's built on data, meaning that, okay, you can row a 500 meters. Let's say you roll it in 1 minute 45. Is that good or bad? So we have not only the tests, but actually the data and the standards to say, is that good or not? So it essentially gives you a measuring stick to say, here's where I am right now. Where do I want to be? Where do I compare to when I was younger? What are my goals? How fit do I want to be? So essentially gives you a language for how we can talk about being fit. So
Oh, I was just going to ask about the kind of the standard. Where do you get the baseline from? Is it scientific? I mean, is there a baseline?
This is where I went out all over. I went to the NFL combines. I went to track and field. I went to military standards. I went to police standards. So I went out there and I gathered all the standards out there and kind of came up with an overall, I guess, if you will, standard. And then you can pick which standard. So essentially you pick a test, like let's say a 1 mile run. You pick a test and you say, okay, what standard do I want to be? Elite? Do I want to be like an average? Do I want to be an absolute? So it'll give you a score for that. So essentially we score your fitness. And we work with wellness programs, police, other sports teams that say, okay, we want to actually design a custom set of tests for our particular objectives. But what we did at Paleo this year is we just took those standards and made it more of a currency thing. We said, we're not going to give you a score, but we're just going to make it yes or no. Are you fit or not? So for example, like on the grip strength, we had the target to say, okay, if you're a male, if you can do 130, that was considered strong. So we looked out there and looked at all the data and said, okay, what is really a high threshold? So that's what we've done for all the tests. Is we said, okay, whether it's a row or pull-ups or push-ups or any other kind of thing you could imagine, we've developed some standards so people can actually say, hey, where do I stack up? And it's not necessarily to compare yourself with others, but to say, how am I doing on my own fitness program? Because a lot of times people just work out and they can't tell whether they're getting stronger or fitter or faster. They tend to look at body weight. They tend to look at body percentage. But that doesn't really tell anything about their fitness. So, and where we also try to do is separate fitness from athleticism. So there's some things that are just very basic. Can you pick up a weight? We had that one test where you just picked up it was 80 pounds for women and 150 for men. Can you pick that up? And that was just kind of like, well, wow, that's just a very practical thing. Can you hang from a bar? That was to me the cliffhanger in any movie. The hero is trying to save themselves on the bridge, and like, okay, that's can you hang from there for 2 minutes? And so it sets a mark. And a lot of people said, I can't do it now, but I know they're going to come back next year and demonstrate that they can. So we're going to now that we have some of our basic test issues, we're going to come up with some more tests next year.
Absolutely. So, well, you think about it, it's very primal, right? It's almost like you got to be prepared. What if you do have to, not that we would in this modern day, but if you had to hang from somewhere in a life or death situation, or you had to pick up something heavy to save somebody's life, or, I mean, I think of it that way. I think of it in a primal sense of being prepared for whatever might happen. And if your body is not fit to where it should be on almost, its most optimal levels, then, you never know. You might not.
I think it also was related to when you look at the aging population as well, is, can you be independent? Can you pick yourself up off of the ground, right? If something happens to you, can you get up, go upstairs? Can you, there's even a good test for older adults to say, if you're just lying down on your back on the floor, can you get up unassisted?
Yes, it's basic movements, right?
Yes.
Basic life, everyday movements.
And so that's what we tried to do. We had a mix of things. You think about, push-ups or just picking up your body weight, or because I mean, there's the competitive aspect, and we always, we're always interested in how we're doing and getting better. But I agree with you is that there's some tests or some things that you should be able to do as any adult to be able to take care of yourself or to take care of the people around you. And I think that's where,
children, you have children. Can you pick them up if you need to? I mean, I think of it like I'm a mom. Like I need to be able to carry lots of things and like carry groceries. I mean, basic.
I want to come up with next year a mom strength test, because I'm convinced that moms, especially if they have 2 kids, can lift a massive amount of squirming kind of weight that you can't be measured. I actually wanted to figure out, can we do some kind of mom strength test to do that?
We should. My grip strength isn't very much, but man, I could hold my 3 kids and the groceries and whatever, I could carry it all in. But that would be great. That would be a fun thing for all the moms out there.
We're trying to figure out how to, so that's really what we want to do is, for the paleo event, we want to make them more primal. Can you pick up something? The grip strength, you think about that, like for me, I do a lot of travel. When you're carrying something, you're carrying groceries, you're carrying something, that grip strength matters, right?
Yeah.
If you think about to me, rowing, there's some cardio thing too. If you think, okay, I've got to run away fast, or I've got to do something there. I think being able to hang from the bar, I think from a plank standpoint, right? There's just a few basic things. So I'm interested. The other thing I would say is anybody watching, if they have some ideas for tests for us to do that incorporate functional primal movements, I think that would be, please contact me, because I think there's a lot of creativity that we have yet to tap in terms of it.
Absolutely. So let's go on that. How could they contact you? Can anybody get involved in realFIT? Who is this for? And then how can they find out more information?
Well, really, I would say realFIT is a lot like Paleo in that we're not a gym or a fitness program. We're more of a community with a platform to help us. So I'm looking, so people can contact me at dave@realfit.com. Very easy. They can go on to realfit.com to learn more about us. But I'm actually looking for some people that want to help me explore this concept, especially in schools, that can take this and kind of package what we did. We could brand the coins for their school. We could make it, this was more about dinosaurs and paleo stuff, but we could make it specific to their school and really take this on a broader level, because I do think especially kids need a way to show that, need to be shown that there is nothing like getting something that is earned. And I think that, this is kind of more a reflection on society, but I do think that we need to introduce more, raise the bar rather than lower the bar. And I think fitness is a perfect way to start.
Yes, absolutely. And, our children need to be taught that. And I mean, that's how we make the most change, right? Starting with our kids, with the children. And so I think that's, I love it, especially as a mom of 3. I'm thinking we need to get into the schools almost, I'm saying you need to get into the schools almost as a curriculum.
Yes.
Like you can be like the realFIT curriculum. The coins can be tailored to whatever the school's mascot is. Like I know that my school, my kids' elementary, they're the Wolves. So maybe you could turn it into the wolf coins.
I say we start right there. I say we start. The other thing is I really would like this to turn it into a kids run thing, where the kids are judging the test, the kids are handing out the coins, the kids are coming up with the prizes. Right, because I think that would be it's also a level of independence too. So
it would be theirs. They would own it, right?
Yeah.
If it was their idea, and what would they really want to earn if they did this type of a situation?
And what's the most valuable thing? But so again, I was excited not only because we did this as a test, because in prior years realFIT had been more about a score and a leaderboard and who won. This was more about engagement, and I think so I was really, I left energized because I do believe that we could put this on either for a corporate event too. You can imagine a corporate company kind of challenge, like these things are a lot. Yes. Things have been very stale in the kind of the fitness event world, in terms of corporations and kids. And I think that we've come up with something here, along with all the help of your attendees, that I think that could actually maybe move the needle in terms of fitness, in terms of engagement, in terms of raising the bar, and I think in terms of, as I said, understanding basic economics, because they can then say, gee, and let me think about this. Let me start to be smart, because people were very smart at Paleo too, right? So they're like, well, why would I do that if there's a bigger return here? I'm like, that's exactly the point.
Well, and for kids, I know I actually used to be an elementary school teacher, and so we were always trying to find ways to incorporate other subjects in. So I think of like for physical education, this would be a great way to incorporate math, right? With the economic system. So I mean, it's just it's a no-brainer to me.
Well, as a college math major, that was actually my hidden thing, is to combine that's why it's student-led, is you have I would say it's almost like a kids sports academy, right?
Yes.
So you have the kids coming up with the measurement techniques and the standards, and then them testing the other kids, and then it's a complete sports science kind of appeal. Because you think the devices, like running the timers or running figuring out how do you actually measure this. My two passions are athletics and academics, and so this is now you kind of stumbled on the whole background, is that if we can engage with kids on both the academic and athletic level, then I think we've got something. So that's what my passion is.
That's amazing. I love it. We need to do it. Do it.
Oh, I'm signing up for the Wolf. You just tell me. I'm ready to do it. So I really am looking for a test school to do this, and I think that we could try it out. I would my friends Sloan and Lauren, they're in Denver, but I'm looking for some people to actually help monitor this. So if there's people that want to work with kids, we could kind of template this. So all they have to do is show up and kind of coordinate the event. We'll put it in a box. Essentially kind of the realFIT kits in a box, and you tell us what the logos and what the themes, and we'll give you the kit for all the prizes, and you just run it. And I think that with the teachers and the students will, again, I know what they have now in schools, and it's nothing like that.
No.
So
No.
I think there's desperately need. So we can change the world that way. That between paleo and realFIT, I think we've done something.
Yes, for sure. And it, like I said, the children, right? It all starts. It starts there. I think that's how we make a big change. So absolutely.
And that was probably the most engaged set of kids. I mean, again, I don't know. A lot of the stuff at Paleo was more for the adults.
Yeah.
But right. I would say that we had a high proportion of the kids hang out with us. And it wasn't a competitive way. They were actually being supportive of each other. So we had, we had a lot of parents come to me and say, hey, thank you for encouraging, and they kind of discovered some talents that their kids, that they didn't even know their kids had. And to see them fight through and earn those things, it said there were a couple things where, he's shaking, one guy's shaking on 4-minute plank, and he's hanging from the bar, and then I hand him the prize and I give him a stack of coins, and I'm like, that, if you could bottle that, and that's essentially what I want to do. That's I think the opportunity.
And that's lifelong, right? That's lifelong. That's teaching lifelong work ethic. You work hard enough, and you will get what it is that you are, your goal or your desire or whatever. So,
and I think absolutely,
I love it.
I think they will pay it forward at that point too, because once they get it, they'll encourage others. And I said, there's something. That's why I said that's why I'm grateful to the PaleoFX community, because I always get inspired by them. And so I've had, I've been wondering how to tailor realFIT to something, because there's a really strong foundation, but I never quite figured out how to market it, because it was more of a passion and not a product. And now I think I have it, because I think if we can focus on this realFIT kids, and we have a way to teach them economics and independence, and something earned is better than something given, and continually challenging them, now I found what I want to do. So I thank you to you and to the PaleoFX community for supportive. And I'm serious about the wolf thing. You tell me how we make it happen. I will.
All right. I could talk about this forever, and we can certainly set up some time to talk about it later, off of the live. But so for those of you that have ideas, and whether it's for the event on testing, or maybe you are the one that wants to head up the pilot, of the realFIT kids. Maybe you're a PE teacher or a teacher in general, and you think that the school needs it, or maybe you're just a parent and an advocate for health within our school. Certainly, it is. It's an important issue. Health, of the future generations and of our Earth. Everything depends on our children, right? So, and
I would say on that, if there's a parent or a teacher, like you said, I would say this is a passion for me, so it's not a monetary thing for me. So I will do this. Whoever wants to do it, I will do it for them for nothing. We just have to find someone to actually help run it. And so I will offer to that. So Dave at realFIT.com if you want to do it, and we will make it happen, because that's awesome. That's the real part. This is not about making money. So it would just be fun to show that it actually works. So
awesome. I love that. Thank you. Thank you so much. And again, thank you for being our sponsor at this year's event. We look forward to all the awesome stuff that you will have going on for PFX 20. And also, for those of you at home, go to realFIT.com to find out more information about what it is that they do. And reach out to Dave at realFIT.com if you have any questions or want to be a part of it. And again, Dave, thank you so much. And we'll look forward to next year. And
everybody practice their grip strength and their hanging on the bar.
Me.
But there's going to be some new tests next year as well. So
yeah, I'm going to work on my grip strength for the rest of the year.
It's a good goal. Me too.
Yeah, awesome.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. All right. Bye-bye, everyone.